through the full presentation, and at the end of the presentation, there will be time for everyone to be able to ask questions from the speakers and the panelists. I do request that you do keep your questions and you ask them. This is the platform for you to be able to ask anything that you might have at hand right now, or any concerns you might have, or things that might aid in terms of you getting better traction through as we prepare for Saitex. I will then introduce my team. My name is Phetogo Bega. I am the event director for the Transport and Trade Division for DMG. So within this portfolio is Saitex. I will then introduce my team respectively who work alongside with me. With us, I've obviously got the various different departments that are going to be with us: the operations department, the sales team, the content and production team, and marketing itself. Just so that everyone has got an overview in terms of our program for today, if you can take us through to the agenda. So we'll obviously introduce the team. We'll go through the events at a glance. We'll take you through who's actually registered currently for the show and what does it look like for you, so you know how to plug and play and prepare for the show. We'll look at our institutional support. We'll look through at the workshop program for the event. We'll then hand over through to operations, who will take us through all the elements alongside with the floor plan, which is quite critical and key. We'll then go through to marketing overview, and then we'll still explain to you additional exposure opportunities that are still available through to you. And then as a close off, we'll have tips and tricks as we help you to be able to navigate and start getting more traction for the show. And as mentioned, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So taking us through into the team itself directly, as I mentioned to you, I am Phetogo Bega. I'm the event director for Saitex itself directly. I do have with us, and if they can please put their cameras on as I introduce them. We do have our senior sales manager. His name is Paul Ramwana. If you can kindly please put his camera on, so you see who you have been engaging with, and who you can bug when you're on site directly. He's our senior sales manager, so a lot of you guys might have been communicating and corresponding with him. If you haven't, you'll see him on site itself directly. I do have our second team member, Nkosinathi Mbata, if you can put his camera on. This is our sales executive. A lot of you guys might have also been engaging through with him. I'll hand over through to then Saki, who is our senior marketing executive. You will receive a lot of our correspondence comes from him. So all the mailers that are coming through, he's the one who manages the full process, as well as all our social media platforms, all our press releases, all our campaigns. So if you have any issues in terms of from a PR perspective, a marketing element, in terms of aiding you leading to the show, he's your man. I'll then hand over through to Julie, who is our head of operations. She'll take us through all the presentations and elements regarding the operation elements for the show. She's assisted by Melanie, who's based from our Cape Town office. You'll have a lot of correspondence with her, especially right now as we are building up towards the show, especially our custom build and all our additional services. And then we have Fran, who is our content producer for Saitex itself directly. As I mentioned on the program, we will delve through the workshop program. So she's the one that gets us all our key speakers, puts together a very detailed and intricate program that is able to assist you guys in terms of trends, what's happening, availability in terms of funding, and having the key government stakeholders through to our show. So as we look into 2024, just to give you an insight in 2023, those of you who might have not been there, we had quite a lot of traction in terms of the different categories that come through to Saitex. As everyone might be aware, Saitex is a multi-sectorial show, but coming out of 2023, these were the top 5 categories that had a lot more traction, even from an export perspective, right? Gaining traction within the region itself. So the key ones were beauty, cosmetics, and healthcare, clothing, textile, apparel, and leather, furniture and lighting, homeware and giftware, and consumer electronics. I'm just highlighting so that as you start planning towards Saitex 2024, and if you're in any of these categories, you just need to think about how obviously you start packaging to be able to get a lot more traction through from the show. That doesn't negate any of the other categories that are there at Saitex, but more from an export and the guys that got a lot more traction, it came from these five key sectors. So you'll see throughout the show, if there are any of products that have coming out of these five sectors, they will be branded just in a different color to make it easier for the investors and potential partners who are coming through who would like to secure any of the products from these categories. As we look ahead in terms of our visitors, currently to date, and we opened actually registrations not so long ago, but we've had great traction so far. We've got over 1,000 visitors that are registered from 10 countries, it being South Africa, Pakistan, India, Nigeria, Botswana, Lesotho, Ghana, Kenya, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. From our visitors targets, obviously, we are targeting over 6,000 registrations from Saitex, with unique attendees being 4,300 as part of our target. And just so that everybody's aware, Saitex is obviously going to be co-located with the hotel show and the Africa Big Seven show. So collectively, these shows will bring about 5,000 attendees. This is good for you guys to note as exhibitors because it means, albeit that you are registered for Saitex as an exhibitor, from a buyer perspective, you do have a diverse array of buyers that will be coming through to the show for Saitex and the other two ones that are co-located. So you're able to package your products to be able to meet all three shows. Looking at the visitors who are registered in terms of the nature of their business, we obviously do have general trading. We've got large portion coming through from manufacturers and distributors. We do have retailers that are coming through. And I think this is one of the key elements that a lot of the exhibitors in previous years have been asking for. So as a team, we've been working hard, and you can see now there has been an increase in terms of the retailer element. We have traction from IT and software, from government parastatals, distributors, food manufacturers, and obviously agriculture. If you look at the top 20 job titles in terms of the attendees that are going to be coming through, these are your C-suite people. These are the decision makers or influencers. Directors, your CEOs, your managing directors, owners of business. So you're speaking directly with the business owner, which makes it easier for you guys as you negotiate pricing, as you negotiate minimum quantity orders directly. That can be done with the person who actually makes the decision. A key breakdown in terms of the companies that are represented. I did mention to you guys that obviously this year we've worked quite hard to get, especially our big retailers, as you can see, Pick and Pay tractioning there, Jet Home. We do have Outsurance that's there. We are working along with a lot of the government parastatals like your JCCI, which is your Johannesburg Chamber of Commerce. City of Ekurhuleni is there. City of Tshwane is there. Joburg is there as well. We're working alongside with the Economic Development Board. We've got traction from the DIC as well as Nedbank. We obviously want to make sure that there's great representation so that you guys obviously are able to get traction and get genuine leads when you're there at the show. If we look at our institutional support, this year we've worked and partnered up with an array of very high premium brands to make sure that you get obviously a wide variety of visitors and attendees to the show who are obviously your potential clients. Key for us, because now we've changed location as those who have participated in previous years. We used to be in Gallagher. We have now moved to the Sandton Convention Center precinct. We do have partnership with the South African tourism, obviously from a destination perspective. From our knowledge partner, we've partnered with E-commerce Forum Africa. From an outdoor media partner, we've partnered up with ICE Media. And you'll see when we go through the presentations with the marketing, there's some nice things that are available for you guys as exhibitors that you guys get as investment, as being part of having us as our exhibitors. In terms of strategic partners, we obviously partnered up with the Afro Chamber, Secosa from the cosmetics and beauty side, the SMME Chamber of Commerce. We do have a great partnership with IEDF, which is the Informal Development Forum. We've partnered up with the Banking Association. Media partners, as you can see, just to mention a few, the Global Africa, the Africa.com, Independent, and Saturday Star. So you'll see a lot of media presence at the show itself directly. And what is key is make sure as you prepare for the exhibition that your stand obviously looks good, but you also present in terms of your brand well, in terms of the staff that's there, because you never know if any of these media or press publications could actually be taking a photo of your stand, could be coming for an interview for people on your stand. I mentioned to you that obviously we've got a very intricate workshop program. This year, obviously, the program is in partnership with our high-level advisory board. We've kept our advisory board quite short and limited because we are working with key industry people and to ensure that you get the best out of the show itself directly. We've got an intense 19 sessions across the 3 days. That's obviously touching on various different topics that are ideal across all 3 days. As you'll see, day one, we're looking at Kasi Talks. Day two, we're looking at SMME. It's a focus on SMME across the board, whether that means finance, capacity building, scalability, packaging. What does that look in terms of cross-border trading? Day three, we're looking at e-commerce and what all the different platforms that are available for you. Any advice that comes from any of the stakeholders to be able to assist you from that element. And then obviously the sessions are free to attend. It's key that you understand that you are there and engaged so you can get as much traction as you can. As I mentioned to you guys, we do have the government parastatals and industry experts that are going to be there at the show. These are the guys that you guys have been asking for. So it's quite key that you attend these sessions and you're able to engage with these people directly firsthand. The program will be available on our website and we'll send a mailer out as soon as it's live. It should not be later than end of next week. I'd like to hand over through to our operations team to be able to take us through all those elements.
Thanks, Pat. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Saitex briefing. Obviously, these are the nuts and bolts of putting Saitex together. A lot of you will have a lot of questions at the end, but if you have any questions while I'm doing the presentation, please drop your question in the Q&A section or in the chat section of the platform, and then we can answer those at the end of the presentation. So obviously, with a new venue, as Pat has mentioned, we're going to Sandton Convention Centre, the hub of Joburg, the hub of almost everything, you know. If you're not in Sandton, you're not cool. So yeah, we're cool and we're in Sandton. So obviously, we are co-located with another 2 events to bring the, as Pat said, to bring the portfolios together so you guys have a great variety of people that you can target. So here is a map. I will show you another map a little bit more detailed, but that's a little bit later in the presentation. So with the 3 events, we have the hotel show that is taking place in the ballroom. That is on level 2. And then Africa Big 7, which is on the ground floor, which is Maud Street level. And then obviously Saitex, which is on level -2. This is the floor plan as per the 25th of April. It could be a little bit outdated. That's why we just say it's as per the 25th of April. So obviously that's where you guys, I don't know if you can see yourself, but you should be there. Okay, obviously, this is very, very important. We only have a 2-day build-up for the event. So I'd like for you to just please be aware that majority of your exhibitors will be accessing the venue from 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon. We have space-only exhibitors, which is the stand builders, will be able to access the venue from 12 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. But just so you are aware, only 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon. The event runs from 10 until 5 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday from 10 until 4. Obviously, breakdown starts on a Thursday afternoon at 4:30. We we'll have a limited sort of breakdown with handheld goods being allowed to be taken out, and contractors who have done the stand builds, they will only have access from 6 o'clock, just to allow the exhibitors to vacate the hall before they all move in. Obviously, we only have the venue until 1 o'clock before we have to hand it back to Sandton Convention Centre. So if we can just please be aware of these times that you will have access. So the most important, the online exhibitor manual. I am aware, and it will come a little bit later, that there are some deadlines that have already passed, but we will work with you guys as quickly as possible to reach these deadlines before anything else gets expired. So you would have received a welcome to the online exhibitor manual looking something similar to this. This is for our other show, the Hotel Show Africa, but the only difference is that the email address is different. It's operations@Saitex. So that email address has already been dropped in the chat section of in the portal now. So if you need access to that email address, it is there. Melanie has put it there for you. So obviously, once you have received this email, you need to change your password to log in. And this is just a basic step-by-step guide, which you will be able to access once you have clicked on to try and log in. Then you can follow the step-by-step guide to change the password. Once you are in, this is your landing page that you will receive. The two sort of most important is at the top there, your operations manual and your marketing opportunities. Obviously, operations manual is all your service forms and all that kind of stuff, and your name badges. And then your marketing opportunities is when you have all your email signature banners and all the advertising opportunities and all that kind of stuff. There's another one, also create your profile, but I will leave that to Saki because he will go through that with you. So we have some compulsory forms and we have some optional forms. Every exhibitor is required to complete the exhibitor name badges form. That is obviously your accreditation to get into the exhibition venue. And without your badges, obviously the security will not let you in. This is on show days only. Security will not let you in unless you have your exhibitor badge. Unless if you register as a visitor, they will only let you in once the show is open to visitors. So we encourage you to please get your name badges captured on the site. I'll show you the page just now. So yeah, that's the one. Your online exhibitor listing, Saki will go through that with you as well, so I'm not going to go through that. And then just most importantly, the booth plan and electrical layout. It's the top left one over there. If you have a specific requirement of where you need your plug point to be situated on your stand when you arrive, you will need to complete that layout form. If you do not have a specific requirement and the plug point can be placed wherever on your stand, then it's not essential to complete that form, as the electrician on site will install at his discretion. If you need to have it changed on site and you have not completed this form, please be aware that there will be delays. The electrician obviously will be working on a first come first serve basis in amongst all his other installations that he has to do. So if you need it in a specific place, please complete that form. Then we have optional forms. This is where you can order additional items like furniture, curtain rail, clothing rails for some of you who have clothing that you will be displaying. So obviously you can go there and order what you require. So here is the name badges. So what you need to do is when you clicked on the name badge form, you'll land on this page, and at the bottom left there it says add badges. Where it says add badges, please click on that, and then you can start adding your staff members who will be on the exhibition stand on show days. Badges will be collected, can be collected on Monday, the 10th of June at registration, and that will be between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So obviously a lot of you exhibitors have a shell scheme stand. This is a 3x3 example of a shell scheme stand. You will receive your table, 2 chairs, and a small dustbin with the fascia name at the top, plug point, lighting, and obviously your walling. So we have some important deadlines, most importantly for any stand builders, which I think a lot of this information may have come through us directly. So if you have not submitted your stand design, and this is for space only, this is only for exhibitors who are building their own stand, we need to urgently get your stand designs, please. It needs to go to the City of Joburg for approval, as they will not allow you to build the stand unless it has been approved by them. Then our next deadline is next week, Friday, the 10th of May. That's for all your other items. So if you need to order furniture, your name badges, audio-visual requirements, so whatever you need, the deadline is next week, Friday, the 10th of May. If you are an international exhibitor and you require a visa, we encourage that you guys, if you have not done it already, that you get onto it today, please. You can also send your inquiry to operations email address, just so we can make sure that you guys have received your invite letters and you can apply for your visas. So we have our official freight forwarder and logistics partner, who is King Cargo. They will facilitate the loading in the facilitate the loading bay and people coming in and out of the loading bay, as well as the porter service that they will be running. Please be advised that the porter service is a free of charge service, and if any of the porters are asking for payment, please come and report it to the organizer's office, as we do not accept that, as it is a free service. If you require a forklift to take any of your goods off your truck when it arrives in the loading bay, you can contact Jerome and he can arrange with you. Obviously, if you need to have anything delivered, we encourage you to preferably utilize our freight forwarder, as they can get your goods to the venue. During build-up, the loading bay is extremely small and there is no space for parking, unfortunately. So once your vehicle is offloaded, you are required to move it out of the loading bay and into the parking lot of Sandton Convention Centre, as obviously there's no space. So if you are coming to the loading bay, you are required to come in one direction, which is from West Street. I will show you the map just after this. So you will not be able to approach it from the direction of 5th Street, which is the Sandton City side. So please ensure that you advise your drivers or whoever is going to be making deliveries for you that they can they have to approach it from West Street driving onto Alice Lane. So breakdown, we do not encourage you to start breaking down your stand before 4 o'clock on the last day of the event. It is still the time of the exhibition that is running. We have visitors in the hall. It also becomes a high risk period if you start breaking down your stand and there's still visitors in the hall, because it could potentially injure somebody, which it has happened in previous years, not necessarily on Saitex, but on other events, not necessarily on DMG events, but I have heard it happen, and it's obviously we need to look after our visitors as well. So we would like for you to just start breaking down your stand from 4:30. There will not be any trolley service until every visitor is out of the hall. So only once that those last visitors are out of the hall will trolleys be available. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a bottleneck in the loading bay if you are trying to get into the loading bay for breakdown. Otherwise, if you can do handheld goods to your vehicle to the parking areas, you can do that as well. We do try to keep the venue as secure as possible. But we do require for you to please ensure that you keep somebody on your stand at all times during breakdown while your goods are still there. Alternatively, if you have a few people, you can leave one person on the stand watching your goods and then another person taking it to your vehicle to offload at your vehicle and then to come back. If you are loading onto an open back vehicle, be it a bakkie or a truck, please keep somebody on that truck as well to stay with your goods until that vehicle has vacated the premises. Obviously, it is a security problem within South Africa, and we just do not want anything to go wrong and ruin your fantastic exhibition that you're going to be having. So the hired items from the stand contractors will be collected from 5 o'clock on that Thursday afternoon. Things like the TVs and furniture, just to help you get stuff out of the way so you guys can continue with your breakdown. 1 o'clock, as I've mentioned before, 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon, we have to hand the venue back. So everybody is required to be out of the venue, out of the loading bays, and completely clear of all parking areas so we can hand the venue back. So as I mentioned earlier, the loading bay is only accessible from West Street. When you're going onto Alice Lane, there is an arrow there where you can see the access is from. It's actually there by Hotel Sky. If you see Hotel Sky, you know you're going in the right direction, and then you turn left onto Alice Lane or right onto Alice Lane, whichever way you're coming. We have our official suppliers. Expo Guys is building the exhibition for us. Obviously, I have mentioned previously that King Cargo is our logistics and freighting partner, and then obviously Santon is our additional services, as well as some other companies like GL Events as well. So we have negotiated some great rates with the hotels in the vicinity of Santon Convention. These are available on our website, so please go to our website and then you can click on accommodation and then you'll be able to see the rates for these hotels there. And now I'd like to hand over to Saki, who will go through all the marketing deliverables and opportunities that you guys have for the show. And then obviously I will chat to you guys afterwards in the Q&A session. Over to you, Saki.
Thank you, Julie, and welcome everyone. I would like to take you through the marketing opportunities that are available within our Exhibitor marketing portal. Thanks, Julie. So this will be your landing page where you can also access the operationals manual. You'll see on the right, you've got a choice to create your profile. That profile will be going into the show website, and that's where people will be able to see your logo and your other marketing material that you are able to upload there. And there's also marketing opportunities, which we will go over those shortly. Next slide, please. So this is where the marketing manual side, that's the view that you get, where you will get started to do your personalized web banners, email signature, social media banners, and all the other good things that you can see listed there. These are basically free of charge, and we encourage you to use them so that you are able to market people to visit your stand. And the tool basically uploads everything for you, and you are able to upload it from the portal and share it. It's got a tracking link within that, so we are able to actually view how many people visited the show that used your specific tracking link. Next slide, please. So to encourage you to utilize all the good things that our Exhibitor marketing portal has, we've also put together a competition in place. This is for those exhibitors that utilize it the best in terms of what you upload, the information, your multimedia basically tools, which would be your brochures, any videos you might have, any pictures of your products, and basically just overall marketing material that you have, you are able to upload on the portal. There is a limit in terms of size of what you can upload, which is 5 megs. So whatever you upload, please just make sure that it's basically less than 5 megs, and then you will be able to upload it there. I am also here to assist in terms of if you're struggling with anything within the portal. Next slide, please. Okay, what will winners get? So basically, the portal view on the website, it's in alphabetical order from A to Z in terms of exhibitor listings. But within, we will basically have 3 exhibitors that will be uploaded. Will be 3 exhibitors that will basically be put at the top of the exhibitor listing. Will be able to get you a free email shot out to our database for those 3 exhibitors that we do pick as the best in terms of their listing. There will be an advert in our show guide, and there will also be an announcement, one free announcement on site daily within the exhibition hall, basically telling the visitors that what you're offering at the show, and for people to drive traffic towards your stand. The deadline for entry of these is 17 May. Next slide, please. On top of the exhibitor listing competition, we have partnered up with our outdoor media partner, which is ICE Media. They have nicely given us an opportunity to offer further prizes to those exhibitors that stand out on the marketing portal. These prizes are basically advertising on the M1 highway billboards. So 2 exhibitors will stand to win a prize of 50,000 worth of advertising for a month within the M1 highway digital billboard. Next slide, please. So our PR campaign has kicked off since since February this year. We have reached just over 2 million on that, with a value of about over 500,000 across print, broadcast, and broadcast online. Some of the major publications that we have featured Saitex on, it's a Retail Brief Africa, Biz Community, African Retail, Independent News, Supermarket Retailer, Global African Network, and many others. As you can see some of the examples of where we have been appearing online. Next slide, please. Okay. And then in terms of our campaigns that we have been running, in terms of visitor campaigns, it's been live since March this year. We have recently also went live with our PPC campaign. This allows us to basically advertise online in LinkedIn, Facebook, and Google. Next slide, please. So this is how the listing of exhibitors looks on their show website. You'll see where there's a visitor who has filled in their profile, updated their profile with a logo and more information that visitors can click on. And right in the middle, you can see where exhibitors have not filled in their information, where we just have our own logo. And obviously, once they log into the portal and start updating their details, this changes immediately to be a personalized platform for you to advertise yourself within our website. Next slide, please. Within the Exhibitor marketing portal, you remember I mentioned that you will get these free banners there that you can get. It basically makes all this for you. The company logo that you've uploaded when you're creating your profile, that gets slotted automatically into all these banners that you see here, and you are able to download it and use it at your own discretion. Next slide, please. So here's another example now of a banner that has automatically updated itself because of a logo that is uploaded by the exhibitor. And then it creates this beautiful artwork for you. And you can upload this, and we've got a link that you can use so that people, when they click on it, we are able to actually send you that data of people who have actually had interest on your artwork. Next slide, please. Okay, right now I'll hand you back to Pat in terms of sales. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Saki. So just to go over some sales elements, and I know you guys are obviously confirmed for the show, but I know obviously there's also some attendees here in the briefing sessions that are representing other companies in terms of they've taken a pavilion and they do have sharers coming underneath their stand because they've taken larger spaces. Just to alert you of other additional options that are available through to you in terms of branding packages. As mentioned, because we are in a new precinct called Sandton Convention Center, there's a variety of options that are available. There's floor decals, there is freestanding boards, we've got lifts, doors in terms of that type of branding so they can get traction. As mentioned, when Julie went through all the operation elements, there are the 3 floors. So with the lift doors, you get exposure against all 3 levels itself directly. Just go to over the next slide to see all the other options that are available through to you. As you can see, we've got the hanging banners across all 3 levels. In the main entrance banners, as you come in on Maud Street, you obviously do have the 5th Street wrap. That's a prominent, very good branding element in terms of it touches through on 5th Street as well as Maud. And then obviously you do have full wraps in terms of from a building perspective. So these are over and additional in terms of all the elements you guys have in terms of exposure for the show itself directly. Obviously, we do have side events. I did touch base with you in terms of the workshop program that I mentioned earlier. Separate from that, if you guys would like to host your own side events, albeit that you want to bring through a delegation, we do have representation from the rest of the region. If you guys are launching a new product, a new range, you're launching your new satellite office, you're able to have those side events and we're able to assist you in terms of those logistics. Obviously, we do have workshop and conference sessions. So if you'd like to make contact with us and want to have your own dedicated session, there is an opportunity in terms of that from a sponsor perspective. There obviously is an opportunity to be a registration sponsor. If you want high prominence, remember that everyone has to go through registration before they can come into the exhibition itself directly. We've got pillar branding opportunities all the way from the parking level coming throughout the whole precinct itself. So if you want any of these opportunities, please make contact with the sales team and they'll be able to facilitate these for you. Just some tips and tricks as we prepare for the show. And I know you guys have been working hard to obviously prepare for the show, but just some elements for on site when you guys are at the exhibition itself. Take into account there's companies that are coming on their own account and there's companies who are coming as part of a pavilion. It's across the board just so you're able to put your best foot forward, right? The sales team or whoever you've got onto your stand, just make sure that person is approachable because we do have a lot of clients that are coming through. Some of them might have meetings scheduled with you or not. Just make sure that the person who's there on your stand is well briefed, obviously, and knows your products quite well, understands the pricing, and is able to negotiate, because a lot of the deals are done on the floor. If they're approachable, people are likely to come through to them. Obviously, to be able to review the program itself, so you know what the program is like and you know which sessions you're going to attend. This makes it easier in terms of from what time to what time you'll be in the stand, and who from your team is going to be able to relieve you, so that there's always someone at the stand, and then you can go to those key sessions that are available to you. Obviously, like you said, just to make sure that you're visible, right? Presence is quite key when you're at the show, to be able to market your brand, as well as from a social media perspective. I think marketing did mention to you the competition that's there, as well as the tracking link that's available for you guys in terms of inviting more people, or telling people exactly what you are doing. It's key that you guys mention that you're coming to Saitex, and you also follow Saitex social media taglines, because that's where some of your potential investors are also going to be looking at you from. Before we go into the Q&As, I just want to highlight any of the guys who are on the platform today that are coming through as part of a pavilion. That means you are coming as either an SMME, part of a big pavilion, just to consider small things such as packaging, your pricing. Remember, we mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that we've got different audiences that are coming through. So think about packaging and pricing for household usage. For your retailer and your wholesaler, those are completely different. Household will look at 1 to 2 purchasing in comparison to your retailer and your wholesaler that is coming through from a bulk buying perspective. Think about your business card, albeit that you're going digital and doing it via WhatsApp. Because we've got representation from Africa, make sure that it's easy for them to be able to get your details. We did mention the pricing elements, just making sure you consider it from that perspective, and obviously social media engagement. It's critical from now leading up to the show, so you can get as much traction as you can. A lot of the leads that you generate happens prior. On site, at least you're able to have additional of those leads itself directly. I'm going to hand over through to Julie, who will take us through the Q&As.
Yes, thanks, Pat. So I'm going to do the first question here from Tabile. If you're getting your stand supplied by Saitex, are you responsible for taking it down, or is it people who are building their own stands? So Tabile, if we are building the stand for you, we will break it down for you. So you just need to take your goods off the stand, and then obviously our stand builder will break down the stand for you. Then moving on, I see this one is from Timeless Decor. I don't know, Lebo Hang. So you're saying here, what material is using for the shell scheme stand setup? You're asking because you'd like to hang some mirrors and artwork on the stand, and can you paint or install wallpaper? This is a fantastic question, because a lot of people can get a little bit confused as what is allowed. Just so you are aware, you are not allowed to paint or put any wallpaper onto the panels. What you can do is you can order graphic panels from the Exhibitor portal, and then the stand builder will install those for you. So when you arrive on your stand, everything is there and ready the way that you have asked. So if you would like to hang some mirrors, I see, generally you cannot drill into these walls. You would have to use something similar like an S-hook. Obviously, because you're if you want to hang a mirror or artwork, I would actually suggest you liaise directly with the stand builder, and they can advise you what is best to hang those, as they can find out information like weights and what kind of or how you actually want it to be installed. If you want it to be in the middle of the wall, because they can actually assist you with any of that stuff. So the contact details for Expo Guys is on the Exhibitor portal as well, and then you're more than welcome to go and contact Bianca. Her name is Bianca. And then you've also asked for the presentations. So yes, the presentation will be sent out to all exhibitors, because this is a recorded session. So the Saki will send out the presentation once it has finalized going through all its technical stuff that it needs to do before we can share it. See, there's in the chat. Okay, Zanokile, good day. We'll be exhibiting water at the expo. Will there be a fridge available as it's not incorporated in our setup, or can we bring cooler box with ice cubes? So what you can do is you are able to order a fridge from the furniture hire form. If you want to bring just a cooler box with ice cubes, you can do that as well. But remember, your cooler box has to be carried in by yourself, and you will have to, obviously it's the weight of carrying it yourself, so it's up to you. It's probably better to get a fridge, and then you can leave it there overnight, and then it's nice and cool for the next day. Obviously, just with going on your still on your water exhibition that you're exhibiting, we are limited on you're not able to give away bottles, unfortunately. You will have to do taste sizes. So basically it's a 25 ml taste that you can give to the visitors, which is like a tot glass. So please ensure that you have some tot glasses with you so you can allow people to taste your water. Are we allowed to have illuminated candle, or is fire not allowed? Unfortunately, as that is a hazard, we do not allow live flames on any exhibition stands. Okay, Justin, I see you've got the most important question, and I do not have a favorable answer for you. We do not offer free parking. However, you can go to the Sandton Convention Management Office, and they do sell subsidized parking tickets. I think it's 62 or 63 Rand. Because if you want to park there for the whole day, it can go up to, I think it's about 85 Rand. So you can get a subsidized one. And just so you are oh no, that's only for Sunday. Sunday, not many of you will be there, but Sunday it's a 10 Rand flat fee, so you don't need to worry about getting a subsidized ticket on a Sunday. But majority of you will be there on Monday. So I would, if you can, before you go, if you've been at Build Up for a short period of time, just double check what the hours you have been there first before you go and buy a subsidized ticket, because sometimes you might not have reached the threshold of the 62 or 63 Rand that the subsidized ticket value is valued at. Are there any other questions while people are typing up potential questions? I have also added, and so has Mel, we've added in a link to the exhibitor portal in this chat over here, and as well as the operations email address. So if you guys would like to access it quickly now, you can click on the link. Any other questions? Anybody want to raise their hand? They want to ask a verbal question? Pat, I think we got no more questions.
Thanks so much, Julie. Much appreciated. If there aren't any questions on the floor, as I mentioned, our details are there. We'll share the presentation through with you guys for the respective departments, and you're able to make contact with us. Please don't wait till it's too late. Rather send us the questions now. There's no silly question. We'd rather make sure you've got all the information that you need. I'd like to thank everyone for making the time to be part of the session today. And I'd recommend, if you guys have additional co-exhibitors that are going to be on your pavilion, to please share the presentation through with them. And if there are any following questions after that, we are more than welcome to have a session through with them directly. We look forward to seeing you at the exhibition, and let's make 2024 a successful show. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon further.